Well, hey, Gundam fans, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. Today, we're looking at the Robot Spirits GP01. Actually, let me get that in camera so you can kind of see the box here. Pretty cool box, pretty slim box. So really importing this isn't too expensive, but it is available domestically. I'm pretty sure it still is. Here's some really cool artwork on the back. And when I say artwork, just poses of the GP01, RX-78GP01. Now, this is from Stardust Memory 0083. I did a little impression review of the first episode, actually, on this channel, so go and check that out so you can kind of see it in action, because really, it is one of the coolest designed mobile suits. Here we go. So, taking a quick look at it in the pose I have it, just so you can kind of see where he's got his beam rifle, shield. The design is very cool. It's very reminiscent of the RX-78-2. The GP in it is really supposed to stand for it being a prototype, and it's 01, so it's the first one. Now, I did that Jabera Tetra review, the Robot Spirits, and that was supposed to be a GP04, but then it got repurposed through Xeon into that, or it got repurposed through Titans into that Jabera Tetra. So, all right, and here we go. Here it is without the accessories on, and you can see just looking at it, like, look at that classic RX-78 design. Just kind of like updated as, they were refining the model in universe. Obviously, it's awesome, but the Robot Spirits version here is very cool. So let's look at some articulation. All right, and so a lot of articulation with the head, and we can kind of see that there is a really cool engineering going on to make the head do what it does. Speaking of that, I was just pushing. Here's a little antenna that they added to like further enhance the coolness of the Gundam models here. But yeah, with the heads, you get, let's see, full rotation going on. Yeah, pretty much a full rotation as you'd expect. And again, I like the detailing in the neck down here, but also that, there's a lot of articulation here. You can do a whole lot with it, even to where it might even look a little goofy when it doesn't need to, like right there. So, moving on, let's see. We've got back here on the backpack, since we're up this high, so this is where the beam sabers are, and they're kind of on a cool little, you can take this off, and you can kind of see it rests on this little, like, hinge ball joint going on, so you can kind of move that around however you want. And then since we're back here with the backpack, I guess, here's thrusters that articulate, and yeah, the backpack itself, because it comes off easily. Interesting. I never really messed with this before. So let's look at that actually for a second. So I just took off the backpack, and it has this piece here that, does it? No. Okay. I guess it's just made to have a little bit of articulation, but to be removed just in case, I don't know, if it falls down, that's always a thing, if you're using a stand or something. But just kind of a cool extra little bit of range there. Okay, you know what? The way that neck is positioned is bothering me. So, moving on. Shoulders. Let me move these out of the way just a bit. So we've got the shoulder armor here. Let's see. It's interesting. It doesn't move up on its own. It's not as independent as some other ones, but you still get the range you need. There's really no reason for an arm to go up higher than that on these things. We can see there. A lot of range coming back down. Let's see. Yeah, there's the swivel at the bicep. The elbow is pretty good. Pretty good with range there. And we have the hands on a ball joint like normal. And we could see on the chest here, there is the articulation that allows the hands to come together if you wanted to do some, saber posing like this. Very reminiscent of that first episode. Be sure to check that review I did, because at the end it kind of teases the battle that occurs. And let's see, let's look at the abdomen here. So it has a let's see, pretty good crunch, I would say. It goes back. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but it's not more than you really need, and it doesn't end up showing a lot of the gappiness we'll sometimes see where Robot Spirits will have a lot of articulation. So much so that it shows a lot of gappiness and stuff that just would not be canon. So I guess I like it when articulation is canon. That's a good way to look at it, right? Okay, moving on. So is there a swivel here? There is, but it seems to stop at a certain point, and I kind of don't want to go any further, but I also don't feel it needs to. Again, canon, right? Side skirts here, they don't move up too much. They just have just a bit. They're on a ball joint, some sort of, yeah, ball joint down there, which, you know what, this is pretty good because out of all of my Robot Spirits, this is one where I can't remember them getting in the way, and you can actually see how interesting it is with the front skirt armor, that they are very small compared to a lot, and it allows you to kind of see this like inner working here that's detailed and very nice. And so that still allows you to get the range you would need for the leg going forward. And then, let's see, going out, again, that gets in the way. It looks like it's kind of limited on, as Jobby the Hong would say, nice spread. But, again, is that canon? I think that's okay then. But I do kind of like the design we're seeing here. Again, when you lift up this front and you can kind of see, let's see. So they do have it set up like that. If you look in closely, there's the ball joint, but also it has its own hinge that allows you to move it back. You can get it pretty far if you want to. You can kick his own shoulder pad. That is, yeah, and it has the drop, which is pretty cool. So that's interesting. You got the drop to make him taller. You can push it in. And I think that drop is really just so you can get some more range if you need to get around the side skirts, if that was a necessity. But I don't think that is a necessity because the range is there for what you would want to do. Yeah, we looked at the knees. Let's see how the swivel works. Yeah, there's a swivel. Let's see. The swivel is in this contraption that plugs in there, and it seems like it's kind of limited. It gets caught on here, and the plastic can get caught on here too. It's enough though. I mean, look at that. So if we look at that, I think swivel's good there. We look at the feet. Let's see. We've got, oh, this one has a toe. I like it when they have movable toes. You don't see that too often. And the foot itself also moves around. So you got the foot, the toe, a lot of articulation there. I mean, look at that. When would this occur? Yeah, that just looks weird. So don't have to worry about that. And then the little armor, which did I knock it off place or is it that loose? Yeah, I knocked it off place. So let's see here. Yeah, so that's very interesting. So we've got this, you know, the foot armor, the lower armor on the foot. It looks different in a lot of them, and it can kind of get pretty loose. You can kind of knock it off place on accident. I'm trying to see where that is occurring. It looks like it's here. It looks like it's inside there. It looks like maybe a ball joint, but kind of limited in its range. But you don't really need too much of that. So anything else I missed? Oh, yeah, the back. Let's see. Yeah, these move quite a bit, even though, you know, you don't really need it. But hey, it's there. So there we go. So that was the articulation, and I say it's pretty good. All right, before we move on to accessories, let's actually look at the manual it came with, because I don't even think I've ever opened it. Have I? Maybe. So a couple things here showing you how the beam sabers work, being plugged in. V-fin comes with an extra one. Perhaps, pretty sure it does, that you can plug in with the antenna. Over here with the gun, with the beam blaster, beam gun, beam rifle, there's a name. It has the effect part, which I like. It has another effect part also to kind of give it more of a detailed look. You know, this is a Ver anime. I totally forgot to even bring that up. And so it kind of has the look of the anime pretty much. So that's that extra detailed effect part. You know, the gun has a lot to it also because it has kind of like that bayonet type style thing you can plug into. Here, it has the pieces that you can easily lose. It even says do not misplace. So you got to keep that in mind. Let's see, another little ammo thing, magazine to plug in, whatever. Let's see. The scope moves and the handle moves out, so it's kind of reminiscent of the RX-78 just a little upgraded. Also comes with the little machine gun that we see with GM, so that's pretty cool there. And then two different types of the beam saber blades. We have just a standard one and one that's more of like a swinging effect. And then, yeah, it even goes through articulation here. So instead of even walking through articulation, I could have just shown everyone this, but no, it's more fun to actually go through articulation. All right, let's see what's over here. More with the gun and how you can place it. Oh, here's something. I guess I never messed with before. So when that backpack moves up that we were looking at, and I was looking at the articulation of the back skirt armor, there's actually a little storage area you can open up and I guess put the gun there, which is pretty cool. And I think I've even done that before, just totally forgot. And then even on the side of the backpack, there's an option to connect a weapon, a gun, so that's great. And then looking at the shield, so shows you how you can plug the shield into the arm. Looks like not only can you hold it, but also plug in a little thing there. You can plug the ammo in it and the gun as well. So a lot of storage options. You can even plug the shield into the back. So yeah, plenty of storage options. So here's something that's pretty cool. I'm going to be doing the next review here shortly. That's going to go up the following week. That's going to be the GP02. And when you get the GP01 and 2 together, you get the beam saber clashing effect piece that you can put together here. And I will show that off on my next video. And then also my favorite piece, the thrusters. It only comes to 2, even though you could really deck this guy out. So yeah, there's that. And then storage for a rocket sold separately. So you could, yeah, get a rocket from another unit, use the connector piece from other Robot Spirits, and then have that plugged in as well. So yeah, it gives you a lot of options there. Let's look at accessories. All right, so let's get started here. Nice little hand tree, always my favorite, and multiple hands here. While I've got them with a kind of a beam saber holding hand and a slight trigger finger hand, there's also an even more triggery finger hand, and then a couple different versions of relaxed you can have. That could just be, you know, splayed for dynamic posing, or a slight point, or dual wielding a gun, you know, holding a gun with, you know, around the barrel, whatever you call that. But always nice to have these hand trees to keep these things here. And actually, this GP01 comes with both effect pieces to create the slashing effect. All right, there you go. That's what it looks like, and I'll show off later when I do the review of the GP02 what it looks like with them clashing. And you know, this thing is pointy. This could hurt someone. You could really use this as a shuriken if you needed to. If you were being attacked or you needed to defend yourself, you could probably, if you know, with the right wrist motion, you could really lodge that into someone. You know, only for self-defense. All right, here is the machine gun looking cool. Here is an attachment piece. So this is what plugs into the side of the backpack there if you want to put the gun. Here are 2 of the delicious thruster effect parts. I just love these. I have like a whole collection of them. I have a shelf that's just thrusters because they just look so great. That's a bad joke. I'm going to edit that. All right, here is the beam saber slashing effect. Here are 2 beam saber normal effects. Here is the beam rifle blaster effect. It even has that little part that plugs in to give it that extra detail. Here is that beam rifle. So it's got the handle there. It's got the scope that moves. It's got the little magazine cartridge that comes on and off. Very cool. And then, yeah, it has, you know, this little thingy here, kind of a bayonet or something to like clash with beam sabers coming in, and you can kind of block it. And yeah, that plugs in here. You kind of take off that piece, plug this in there. And then here is the shield. It's transformable. It becomes bigger if needed. And then it has this little area where you could plug it into the arm. All right, and the shield also has 2 magazines here that can come off. This piece can also come off, and you can actually put another piece in here to attach to the arm here, or the backpack. You know what? I've realized that I have lost it, which is very typical. It's a tiny little piece, and I've lost it. If anyone's found it, please drop me an email, gundamexplain@gmail.com. No, I'm kidding, but it's so easy to lose these things or break these things. All right, and here's a couple cool poses to kind of show off what you can do with the GP01. Very cool. I'm adding this in later, so really I'm just narrating nothing right now, assuming that this length of time is what will show off the photos I'm taking. All right, there you have it. That's the GP01 from Robot Spirits. It's an awesome Robot Spirits action figure. It's one of the more recent releases, so it has really good articulation engineering. It feels great in the hand. It's a great compliment, even if you already have the Gunpla version. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about the GP01 in the comments. Not only the Robot Spirits version, if you've had it, but also just in general. It's just an awesome Gundam unit. So anyway, thanks for watching. Talk later.